morning, good morning, good morning. I am so thrilled to be before you once again on this day. Remember, if this video speaks to you in any kind of way, feel free to like, comment, and share. This is Empowerment365 with Jamarr Williams. I am your host, Jamarr, with 2 R's Williams, and I am so glad to be able to bring you your daily dose of motivation, inspiration, and empowerment. Without further ado, let's get started. Today is Sunday, October 18th, 2020, and today's quote is, I understand the need for a full circle of balance in my life, and therefore will not only find times for the priorities of work, but also set aside time in order to fulfill the priority of renewal. I will say that once again. I understand the need for a full circle of balance in my life, and therefore will not only find time for the priorities of work, but also set aside time in order to fulfill the priority of renewal. Now, here in the past few weeks, we have been focusing on that balance of life, that balance we need to be able to have in life, and the importance of what it means to have specific aspects in our lives. Last week, we talked about reflection. The week prior, we talked about relaxation. The week prior to that, we talked about rest. Today's topic is all about renewal. Point number one, you may ask, what is renewal exactly? Renewal is that instance of resuming an activity or a state after an interruption. I'll say that again. Resuming an activity or a state after it has been interrupted. We think about some of the things we go through in life, and yes, some of our traumatic experiences, some of our mental health conditions, some of our transitions in life, such as moving from state to state, some of the loss that we've endured, the loss of our possession. Maybe you lost a disc or the work that you had. Maybe you were typing up a book, and maybe you lost the jump drive that you had or the computer that you had that work on it. Sometimes our life experiences just causes us to have to interrupt that very project, that very idea. What happens is sometimes we become comfortable after it has been interrupted, because it has been interrupted. So unforeseen. Hey, guess what? Sometimes we not only become comfortable, but we give up because we don't want to have to start over from scratch. But renewal is just that. You are resuming an activity that you started, that you envision. You are resuming that very activity after it has been interrupted. Point number two, renewal is transformation. It is all about transforming our minds, all about transforming our bodies, our hearts, our spirits, our souls, our very lifestyles. Renewal is all about transformation. Third point, renewal is all about recycling. Sometimes there are things that are going to be in our lives that we simply need to be able to reevaluate. We need to be able to recycle. We need to be able to look at what may be toxic in our lives. We need to be able to look at what may not be working in our lives. And we need to be able to truly evaluate that. And we need to be able to either dispose of that toxin, or we need to be able to place it in proper perspective so that it is no longer a toxin in our lives. We need to be able to recycle those things out of our lives. And that's what renewal is all about. Not only is it about transformation, but it's also about recycling. So let's talk about point number four, those areas of renewal that we can truly focus on, those areas of transformation that we can truly focus on. First and foremost, the transformation and the renewal of our mind. Think about how you're going about thinking about your everyday life. Are we thinking ourselves to be worthless? Are we thinking ourselves to have a low self-image of ourselves? Are we thinking ourselves to have low self-respect for ourselves? Are we thinking ourselves to be negative? We talked yesterday about the law of attraction. We talked yesterday how if we think ourselves positive, we can attract positive outcomes. Well, guess what? The transformation and the renewal of your mind, it starts in your thinking. It starts in your understanding. All right. The second area we can truly transform or renew is that of our body. Look at your body. Are we living a healthy lifestyle? Are we allowing ourselves to truly live that healthy lifestyle? What are we doing to live that healthy lifestyle? Some of us work out every day. Some of us may go for a walk every day. Some of us meditate every day. Some of whatever the case may be. Your body may have to be renewed as well. The third area that we can renew is that is our heart, right? Our heart. It is what houses emotions sometimes. All right, we have already discovered just how dangerous it can be sometimes to make a decision based off of emotions. Sometimes we have to look at what is truly in our heart. Is it hate? Is it hatred? Is it something that is poisonous? Is it hatred? Is it frustration? Is it anger? Is it bitterness? What is in our heart? Sometimes our heart has to be renewed. Fourth area, our spirit and our soul. Remember, we talked about our spiritual connection that pulls us and draws us to everything that is of this world, that draws us to other people in this world. Guess what? Sometimes that spiritual connection can be damaged, it can be diminished, it can be neglected. We need to be able to sometimes renew our spirit and our soul. And finally, our lifestyle, that healthy living. Going back, it kind of connects hand in hand with that of our body. What are we doing in our lifestyle? Are we constantly doing drugs? Are we constantly in and out of jail? Are we constantly entrapped? Are we constantly sitting around doing nothing, being lazy? What are we doing to charge and push our lifestyles into a different direction? So these are the areas that we can focus on that, hey, that may require a little renewal. So I leave us with this charge on today. What areas can use a little renewal? Think about that today. If you're not going to work today, if you're just sitting around, think about that today. Take the time out to say, hey, is everything in my life in proper perspective? Is there something that may be a little toxic in my life? Is there something that may not be working right now? How can I go through the process of renewal for this particular area of my life? Think about that today. This has been Empowerment 365 with Jamarr Williams. I'm your host, Jamarr, with two R's Williams, signing off.